You know, there's something oddly satisfying about the idea of creating something with your own hands. I mean, we live in a world where everything is at our fingertips, where convenience is king, and yet there's this undeniable charm in the simple act of crafting. It's like a little rebellion against the fast-paced, instant gratification society we've built. So let's talk about those 5-minute crafts, those easy DIY projects that promise to transform our mundane lives into something a little more colorful, a little more personal. Picture this. You wake up one morning and the sun is streaming through your window, casting a warm glow over everything. You look around your space and it feels, well, a bit dull. The walls are bare, the shelves are cluttered, and the air feels stagnant. You think to yourself, I need a change. But where to start? You don't want to spend a fortune or dedicate an entire weekend to a project that might end up looking like a Pinterest fail. Enter the world of 5-minute crafts, where creativity meets simplicity. Let's begin with something as basic as a decorative mason jar. You know those jars that seem to accumulate in your kitchen? You can turn them into beautiful storage solutions or charming decor pieces in no time. Grab a jar, some twine, and a few dried flowers or even fresh herbs if you're feeling fancy. Wrap the twine around the neck of the jar, tie it off in a cute bow, and voila! You've got yourself a rustic vase. You can fill it with anything: pens, kitchen utensils, or even just a few sprigs of lavender to add a delightful scent to your space. It's amazing how something so simple can breathe new life into a room. Now, let's step it up a notch with some personalized coasters. You know those plain, boring coasters that everyone has? They're functional, sure, but they lack personality. All you need are some tiles, which you can find at any hardware store, and some scrapbook paper or fabric. Cut the paper to fit the tile, and use Mod Podge to adhere it. Seal it with another layer of Mod Podge, and you've got coasters that reflect your style. You can use patterns that match your decor, or even photos of your favorite places. Every time you set your drink down, you'll be reminded of those moments, and your guests will be impressed by your creativity. Speaking of a personalization, let's talk about customized picture frames. You know those frames that come in a pack, all identical and uninspired? Grab a few of those, some paint and maybe some embellishments, like buttons or beads. You can transform those frames into unique pieces of art. Paint them in colors that pop or match your room's palette. Once they're dry, glue on some embellishments to add texture and interest. Now, when you hang those frames on the wall, they won't just hold pictures. They'll tell a story about you and your creative journey. And what about those old t-shirts that you can't bear to throw away? You know the ones. Faded, stretched out, but they hold memories. Instead of letting them languish in the back of your closet, why not turn them into a cozy pillow? Cut the shirt into 2 equal pieces. Sew or glue the edges together, leaving a small opening for stuffing. Once it's filled, seal it up. And you've got a pillow that's not just comfortable, but also a conversation starter. Every time you see it, you'll remember the concert you went to, or the trip you took while wearing that shirt. Now, let's not forget about the power of upcycling. You know those empty wine bottles that seem to pile up after a dinner party? Instead of tossing them out, you can turn them into beautiful candle holders. Clean them out, remove the labels and paint them. If you want a pop of color, you can even wrap some twine around the neck for a rustic touch. Place a candle inside, and you've got an elegant centerpiece for your dining table, or a cozy addition to your living room. It's a great way to add ambience without spending a dime. And speaking of ambience, let's dive into the world of DIY wall art. You don't need to be a professional artist to create something beautiful. Grab a canvas, some paint, and let your imagination run wild. You can create abstract designs, or if you're feeling particularly inspired, try your hand at a simple landscape or a quote that resonates with you. The beauty of DIY art is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Hang it on your wall. And every time you pass by, you'll feel a sense of pride in what you've created. Now, let's switch gears and talk about something practical. Homemade cleaning supplies. Yes, you heard me right. You can whip up your own all-purpose cleaner in just a few minutes. All you need is vinegar, water, and a few drops of your favorite essential oil. Mix them in a spray bottle, and you've got a cleaner that's not only effective, but also free from harsh chemicals. You'll feel good about cleaning your space, knowing you're using something safe for your family and the environment. Plus, the scent of lemon or lavender will make your home smell divine. And let's not forget about the joy of creating your own greeting cards. You know those moments when you need a card for a birthday or a thank you note. Instead of running to the store, grab some cardstock, scissors, and your favorite craft supplies. You can create cards that are as unique as the person you're giving them to. Use stamps, stickers, or even your own drawings. It's a small gesture, but it shows that you care enough to put in the effort. As we wrap up this journey through the world of 5-minute crafts, I can't help but feel a sense of excitement. These projects aren't just about the end result. They're about the process, the creativity, and the joy of making something with your own hands. They remind us that we don't need to be experts or spend a fortune to bring a little beauty into our lives. So, the next time you find yourself with a few spare minutes, grab some supplies and let your imagination run wild. You might just surprise yourself with what you can create.